So, here's the story. Where are you, Sprinkles? We have sheep, lots of sheep, and I am the shepherd when I am not in school or sleeping. But I have to admit, I do count the sheep sometimes when I am trying to fall asleep. We have a dog that helps, but he is old, tired, and not able to do much, but he tries. Dad said we could get a new dog if I would help train it. One Saturday, we drove all the way to Iowa to see sheepdogs. Getting out of the old truck, it was clear right away that these folks had lots of sheep too. We went into a small barn, and a girl about my age showed us the dogs they were selling. They were 6 months old and had been partially trained. She said, "Pick out one." I stood there looking. They were hopping around. Dad said, "We need to see them working before the sheep." Dad said, "We need to see them working the sheep before we can decide." She said, "Oh, all right," like it was some big imposition. She grabbed one by the scruff of the neck and took it outside. One that was left behind jumped up into my arms and licked my chin. I held it as we walked outside to the sheep. The dog she selected was put down and told to move some sheep to a pen. It started out great, but a cat walked out from the corner of the barn and the dog ran after it, chasing it back to where it came from. The girl yelled at the dog, but it was gone. The girl saw me holding one of the dogs and said, "That one is as stupid as a bag of rocks, and its name is Sprinkles." Dad said, "We will take her, and since she is so dumb, we will just pay you half the price." Sprinkles stayed in my lap all the way home and seemed to want to be next to me always. I went to bed when we finally got home, and Sprinkles was there too. After breakfast, I got on the school bus and headed off to my classes, which were not too far away. It was getting near lunchtime when the teacher said that there had been a dog sitting outside on the lawn, just staring at the building. We all got up to see, and I said, "It's Sprinkles!" No one knew what I was talking about. I ran to the door and opened it, and Sprinkles jumped into my arms. Everyone was excited and wanted to pet Sprinkles, which made her very happy, but the teacher was not. She said, "No dogs in school. Put her outside." Sprinkles sat in the schoolyard, watching me. When school was over, the bus driver let me take Sprinkles home with me on the bus. Dad started training Sprinkles and said he would keep her busy so she did not bother the teacher anymore. The training was going well, and our old dog seemed to be happy to help show the new dog how things were done. Saturday morning, though, things changed. I had finished breakfast and went out to work with Sprinkles and the flock, as we were moving them to a new pasture today. Sprinkles was gone. I called and called, but she did not come. I was afraid she had gotten trapped in a building or hit by a car, and I was running around calling. The vet was there working with a lamb that had been injured, and he said he thought that he saw someone throw a net over a dog and take it away, but was not sure about what he saw. I went into the house and called the sheriff, and I said I wanted to file a report and that Sprinkles was missing. He asked some questions, but when he discovered that Sprinkles was a dog, he said he would not help, as it is not a missing person. He hung up. We have some cameras around a few of the buildings, as we have had problems before, so I went to check the computer, and sure enough, I could see that someone did grab her using a net. I was able to get the license number, but Dad said he did not have time and to call the sheriff. I decided to look online and was able to find an address for someone having that license number. Dad said he was busy, and perhaps tomorrow he could drive there and see if we could find the dog. I said, "It is not just a dog, it is Sprinkles." I grabbed my bike and headed off to the address. I got there an hour later, and it too was a large sheep farm. I ditched the bike in the weeds and waited, hoping to see her. They had her locked up in a cage, and I did not see anyone nearby, so I crept up to the cage and said, "Let's go, girl." We ran across the field, and I got on the bike with Sprinkles running behind. We were halfway home when the sheriff pulled up behind us with his lights flashing. He came up and asked what was going on. I explained the whole thing, and he said he was sorry that he did not help when I called. He gave us a ride home and talked to Dad when we arrived, saying he had problems with these guys before and wanted Dad to press charges. I was glad to have Sprinkles home. The end.
Hi, my name is Joe Schmidt. I sell real estate. I also like to write stories, short stories. I try and write uplifting, positive stories, and I started doing it actually because my grandchildren enjoy hearing the stories that I tell them. I started sending these stories out, about a year ago, every week to folks that are on my list, my contacts, folks that are friends and prior clients of mine. I've lately been taking those stories and having them narrated, and I put that narration then, because now it's a video with someone reading the story, I put it on Facebook and YouTube, and other people can enjoy it as well. If you have seen the story and seen it and enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up and maybe share it with somebody who might enjoy it as well. As I mentioned, I sell real estate, and the real estate market today is quite strange. There are very few listings, probably 50% lower than normal, maybe even less than that in some areas. And because there are so few listings, people are afraid to list their house because houses sell very quickly. And so what's happening is these houses sell very quickly, and folks have a problem with that, because if your house sells very quickly, now you're homeless. And what are you going to do in that situation? I've got a solution, and that solution is basically working with lenders. I've got some lenders that work to help you solve the problem. And basically what they do is they work out an arrangement where you can find a house, look at your leisure, find the place you like. You take that house and move into it, get it ready to go, and then after you're ready and moved in, now you can take your existing old house and fix it up or do what you want and sell it at your leisure. It will sell very quickly if priced properly and fixed up like it can be. So it solved the problem that people have of having difficulty finding a house, having difficulty dealing with the fact that they have to move out of their old house and move into the other house at the same time. It's a tricky thing to do, but I've got a solution for it, and so that's a great thing for, I think, most people to do. If you'd like to explore that, like to talk about it, like to understand more of how it works, please give me a call, send me a note, send me an email. We can get together and talk. I can make it happen. Thank you very much.